Today we are going to change a tire. I got done with my ride yesterday and found that I had a slow leak, and today it's totally flat, so we're going to change it. So first thing you want to do is the front tire, which is nice and easy, but we're going to go through how to take the rear wheel off first because that's what most people have difficulty with. So first thing you want to do is change your gear so that you're on the small ring on the front here. So you can see I'm down here on the small ring. If you just start spinning your wheel, then you can change the shifters up here and shift it into the smaller ring. And then on the back wheel here, you want it to be down near the smallest ring on the back also. So I'm going to spin here and then just shift it down. Alright, that should be good. Okay, first thing, open the brake release right here. Just flip that switch up. If you have a mountain bike, it's a little bit different of a switch. So there's some videos online, I'm sure you can find how to undo that. But for most road bikes, you just flip that switch up. You're going to loosen this lever here. You might need to open it up a little bit, depending on what kind of drops you have. Hold on to the frame. Just lift the frame up, and you kind of shimmy the wheel out. You might need to grab the derailleur down here to release it, and the wheel just drops out. And there you've got your rear wheel off. Once you've finished changing the wheel, you're going to slide it back in here, put the rear derailleur on top of the cassette in the back, close to the end. So I had it on the second or third ring, so I'm just going to set it right on there, and then drop it down, and it drops right into the set there. Tighten it up and press that lever down and you're good to go. Then I just spin it, make sure it's in the right gear, and I happen to put it in exactly the spot that I took it off. Easy.
And reset your brake.
And reset the brake, thanks. And then tighten that brake down. You'll realize that as soon as you start riding. Alright, next we're going to actually change the tire. So it's the front wheel that I have flat today. So I'm opening up the brake lever here. Loosen the skewer, and just pull that wheel off. That one's nice and easy. So first thing, I'm looking through to see if I see any obvious points of where the flat came from. And since it was a slow leak, probably not going to be anything obvious. I don't see anything, so we're going to have to check it later. I'm going to reach in here, grab all my stuff. I've got my spare tube. This is a CO2 cartridge. There's a few different options. This one comes as a set. It holds the CO2 there, and then you screw this in up here, or you can just have it separately. This just makes it all sit together nicely. And then my brake levers. Oh, sorry, tire levers. So I've got everything I need here. First thing I'm going to do is find the valve, go to the opposite side of the valve. Take the tire lever, put it under the lip of the tire there, and just pull it down. And they have these little notches here. You can use that to notch it down onto your spoke. And then you take the next one, move down the tire a little bit, get it under the lip, and pull it over. And you might need to just kind of work it down a little bit. Once you get to a certain spot where it's off enough, you can just slide the tire lever all the way around, and you're done. So you only want to take one side of the tire off the wheel, not both sides. Then you reach in, grab the tube, pull it out. Set that aside for later. Whenever you change your tire on the road, make sure you take your spare tube with you. You don't want to leave all that trash out there on the road. So now I'm just going to go through, run my fingers on the inside of my tire, and also looking to see if I see anything in there. You want to be careful as you do this if there's glass or sharp thorns sometimes. You don't want to cut yourself. I actually did find a thorn in here earlier, so I know it was a teeny tiny little thorn. But you want to make sure, just run your hands through there and make sure that there's nothing left in there that's going to puncture the new tire that you put in. So it's all good. I'm going to find the hole here, open up my new tube, and just to help make it easier, you can just blow a little bit of air in here just to fill the tube up just a little bit. Make sure that it's open. Just to give it a little bit of substance to work with. So you take the valve stem, stick it through the hole here, and then just slide that tube in the tire all the way around. Make sure it's seated in there straight. You don't want it twisted. And then this time I'm going to start on the side with the stem and work the tire back onto the rim, just using my hands at first. Some tires you can do this all the way around just using your hands. You don't even need the tire lever. Just depends on how tight your tires are. So I got it on as far as I can. Now making sure that I'm not pinching the tube under the lip here, I'm going to take my tire lever, turn it around the other way so that the curve is facing towards the rim. Flip it over the rim and just flip that tire over and work your way all the way around. Once I've got it on there, I'm just going to kind of work it back and forth, make sure that it's seated on the lip inside the rim and there's no tube showing underneath. So if you look down here, you can see I can see the rim tape in there. There's no tube. So I'm just checking all the way around, making sure that everything is seated evenly. I'm not going to get a pinch flat, which is the worst if you take all this time changing your tire and then you find out that you pinched the tube and then you're stuck with another flat tire. Alright, so we're all good. Now we're going to inflate. So I'm going to take my CO2 cartridge. The CO2 cartridge, it has a little spot here that you can puncture to let the air out. So it comes sealed like this. When you screw it into the adapter, it automatically punctures the CO2 for you. So I'm going to screw this in here. And I'm all set to go. This one has a feature. If I just press down on it, once I put it on the tire and press down, it'll let air out. Some of them, if it doesn't have that, you actually need to untwist it, back it off slightly, and that will let the air out. So I'm going to come to my valve stand, make sure that it's open. Press the adapter down onto there, and then push down, and it inflates the tire. And I didn't fill it all the way up, we'll do it some more. Press, and it inflates. So this one's nice and easy because it has that special adapter that presses. So if I didn't have that adapter, then just untwisting it slightly, backing off there, then would let the air come out. This one won't because of the adapter. But then once you're there, you just want to kind of bounce a little bit, feel it, make sure that it's nice and tight, and then you put it back on your bike and you're good to go. And make sure you tighten down that so no air is escaping. And if you notice on there, you can see the cold. These things cool down quite a bit when you use it, so don't be alarmed if your hand starts freezing. Just expect that it's going to be pretty cold. So then we're going to take the wheel, place the fork right over the skewer there, tighten it down, and then tighten your brake, and you're good to go. Thanks.